Good morning. Welcome to the Northman Coaching Morning Devotional with AJ. Grab your coffee and make it great.
Good morning, and welcome to Northman Coaching's Morning Devotional with Gary and AJ. I am your host, AJ, and we will be reading from two scriptures today, as always. One from the words of Jesus and one from the man of honor, and then applying them to the faith, character, and leadership that we as men should all strive to live out daily. So before we start, I would like to ask our listeners to drop an amen in the comments. And if you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do. If there is something that you heard today that hits you, we'd love to hear about it. Or if there's something else that you would like to hear different from Gary or I, we'd also love to hear about that. So leave us a comment. Let us know. We get back to all of our listeners, and we very much enjoy talking with you guys. So moving forward on that note, from the words of Jesus, today we have John 14, that's 18 and 19. I will not leave you as orphans. I will come to you because I live. So you also. And from the man of honor, we have Genesis 9-16. For in the image of God has God made mankind. For in the image of God, God has made mankind. So to bring these together and bring them to the men's work that we do in the Northman Brotherhood or at Northman Coaching, Genesis answers the questions, who am I? And who am I made in the image of, which would be God? And John answers the question, who walks with me? Well, Christ does. I am not a bandit. But when a man knows both truths, everything begins to shift. He no longer fights for his value. He fights from his value. He no longer lives like an orphan. He lives like a son. And he no longer isolates. He joins a brotherhood. He no longer survives, he begins to lead. So when it comes to Northman Coaching and the work we do, we believe every man has two battles to win. The first is believing that he was created in the image of God and already has immeasurable worth. The second is believing he doesn't have to fight alone. Jesus said he would not leave us as orphans. That's why we built the brotherhood. We stand shoulder to shoulder and we build brick by brick with men until they begin to see themselves the same way that God sees them. When identity is restored and isolation is broken, a man doesn't just improve, he begins to lead. He starts to lead his family, he can lead his community, and his life is led with strength, humility, and purpose. And that is what it's about. And that's exactly what Northman Coaching is all about. We're not simply helping men become more successful. We're helping men become better men who live lives that reflect these values while they're on the journey through life. We don't build men who simply survive this world. We build men who refuse to be shaped by it. I hope everybody has a great rest of the day, and I look forward to seeing everyone soon.